Hey, happy day. Live. Technical difficulties, challenging this morning. Of course. Hey, happy day 685 of What You Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Nice to meet you if I haven't met you yet. Also known as Pajama Grandma, because I like to show up in my pajamas. I like to be myself and show up in my pajamas. I like to be comfortable. For a long time, I ran through my life and I wasn't necessarily comfortable. I was just going, and hit a full dead tilt stop and had to change everything. And one of the things I changed was deciding that I was going to work when I want, where I want, with whomever I want, wearing what I want. And I discovered a couple of years ago that ended up being a disproportionate amount of time spent in my pajamas or in my cozy bathrobes or wrapped up in a cozy blanket for the season. And so I'm like, if that's who I am, why am I not representing and being who I am? So today, day 685, I want to talk about the final key. And is it the final key? As I was writing final key, I had to ask myself, is it really the final key, or is it really something that we should move up and have be a higher priority for us as we're thinking about it? And what is that key? That key is, of course, the 7 key areas of our life. And I don't even remember anymore. I learned this so long ago who I learned this from, but they divided the 7 areas of our life into physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. Those are the 7 categories. And for some reason, those categories appealed to me, and I started setting my goals based on those categories and actually, kind of paying attention to my life on those categories, except with the exception, of course, of the physical category that I ignored for decades. The taking care of yourself, your physical body category, that one I was too busy, right? I was too busy building my businesses. I was too busy raising my family. I was too busy to take care of myself. And I had all the excuses that all of us have when it comes to why we're not doing something that we know we ought to be doing, right? I don't like the word should, so I say ought instead of should sometimes. So today, the area that I want to talk about, I've talked about all the others over the course of this part of the 90-day challenge. I'm doing a 90-day blood pressure challenge because I need, according to my doctors, to lower my blood pressure. It's really interesting that until 2010, when I had a sudden cardiac arrest, I always had really low blood pressure. No matter how busy and how stressed out I was, I had low blood pressure. And since that event, I've had to take medication to keep my blood pressure down, which makes no sense to me. But it doesn't have to make sense to me. I just need to take care of it and make sure I'm lowering my blood pressure, doing all kinds of different things so that I don't have to take another prescription drug. I have personally experienced very bad side effects and reactions to any medications that I take. So I try to minimize the amount of prescription drugs or anything like that I ever take. I do have to take one. It's a beta blocker, but that beta blocker tends to increase my blood pressure. So they want to give me another pill, of course, to decrease my blood pressure. And I'm like, no, I already have enough challenges with the one. I don't want to go ahead and take another one and then have to deal with the combination of the side effects. It's just not worth it to me. So I challenged my doctor to let me go until my next visit, which is in 6 months, to reduce my blood pressure using other means naturally. And that, of course, led to this challenge that I'm doing. Actually, day 79 today, so we're coming up on the last final stretch of it. And if I'm doing a challenge, I like to take other people with me. So it's fun to bring people along with me as I'm challenging myself. Now, since I'm always doing some kind of a challenge or other with myself, I'm always pretty much bringing people along with me with one of my challenges. This one just happens to be a health challenge. Normally I do business challenges, but this was a health one because I personally needed to work on my physical well-being more than other areas. Now, the final stage, which I'm finally getting to, or the final area of our life, this final key, is contribution. How are we showing up in the world around us? What are we doing to contribute to not only our welfare, but other people, the people we love and care about's welfare? What are we doing? What are we giving out into the world? Are we sharing our zone of genius with the world? Are we taking care of other humans? Are we, how are we contributing in any other way, shape, or form to the expansion of the universe? What are we doing? What are we giving? How are we showing up? Because sometimes just showing up is giving our time, our attention, our energy. That can be some of the most valuable actually positive ways of showing up in the world is just being there for people, paying attention, listening, which is something that I continually grow and work at practicing. Because sometimes I want to just tell people the answers, right? I mean, sometimes we just want to say, oh my God, stop feeling that way. You don't have to hurt that bad. But that never works, right? When was the last time someone told you to calm down, that you actually calm down? If you want to throw fuel on the fire, just tell somebody, oh, calm down. You shouldn't feel that way. This time of year, I'm reminded of my dad's funeral and how difficult and challenging when someone passes away or transforms is to most everybody, because we just, as human beings, don't know what to say. And usually whatever you say, it doesn't help. When my dad passed away, there wasn't, and it's not anyone's fault, there's nothing you can say to someone in that situation that's going to make them feel better. We all have to live through and grieve at our, through the stages of grief at our own speed, at our own process. It's different for each of us. We all grieve differently, just like we all feel a lot of different emotions differently. So today I'm thinking about contribution. What are some ways that we can give to other people? And it was interesting because I picked the saying, give someone the shirt off your back, for the Supersize Your Business segment today. And beating myself up a little bit because I pick these, I do these. I can't see, right? I can't see, so I write things down to kind of help me remember them. But then as I'm doing the presentation or doing the quick video, I forget at least 70% of what I've written down anyway. And then I kick myself in the rear and say, oh, that was terrible. But then, guess what? I don't listen to it, and I put it out there anyway. Because I'm hoping and I'm thinking and believing that there's at least one thing that I said in that video or I said in that piece of content that I'm creating that does give value, that does positively contribute to other people, or even if it just speaks to one other person, even if there's a piece of my message that actually positively impacts one other person, then it's worth doing. And it's worth me not beating myself up about my hair is funky and it looks like a wig, or it's sticking out all over, because it totally is, or because my eye makeup's funky. Gang, I can't even see my eyes, so to put eye makeup on is kind of a joke. My sister got me a magnifying mirror, but I can't even see out of that, so I'm just I just go by feel. So if you ever want to criticize my makeup, go ahead. I will not take it personally. But how are we contributing to the world? How are we showing up in the world? How do we want to show up in the world? Are we having the impact that we want to have? And if we aren't, that's okay. It just is what it is. We're not going to be frustrated or beat ourselves up over it. We're just going to say, this is where I am right now, and I'd like to do more. This is where I want to be. And then just focus on where you want to be, and the gap will fill itself in as you'll be inspired to take action and do things and make choices and hang out with different people, or read things, or watch things, or attend things, or participate, or choose not to participate. The right things will show up, and before you know it, you will be contributing at the level you want to be contributing at. And you'll look back and be like, I don't really know exactly how I got there. I remember thinking this is where I was on this date, and then and changing my focus from where I am and I'm not there yet to this is where I'm going to be. This is a vision of where I'm going to be. And then all of a sudden you're living that vision, and you're coming up with the next goal, the next objective, the next way that you want to contribute and make the world a better place. So that is today. Meeting with a group tonight again about their event and about their webinar and how they're going to promote and share this event. What else have I got going on? 4-year-old beautiful granddaughter will be here soon, so I want to chat and have an amazing day with her. We are making Christmas gifts for her parents because she wants to make them surprise Christmas gifts. So we're coming up with things we have around my house to create so that she can actually make them gifts, because she wants to make them something, which I will tell you and I tell her that they will cherish much more than if she were to go out with grandma and buy something for them. It's the things that we do for people that show and demonstrate our love and intention that contribute the most positively to their lives. It's not the things we buy them. A lesson that is hard for a lot of people to accept and learn, but once you learn it and you realize it and internalize it, you are much more generous with your attention and your time and energy than you need to be with your pocketbook. And that's, I think, a powerful lesson for all of us. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with another little update and report on what I'm working on as I transition from the brick and mortar world of business to the online world of business. Have an awesome day. Catch you tomorrow. Bye.